1945. You're a Soviet pilot on a secret mission deep inside Nazi territory. Your objective? Destroy German aircraft to slow down their air raids and make it out alive. Now deep inside Germany with forged documents, you're headed to a training airfield. To join the Luftwaffe and blend in with the Nazi pilots, you must pass a flight test. The flight instructor orders you to perform a barrel roll and acrobatic maneuver in an FW-190. How do you pull it off? If you chose the slow loop, you failed. Dropping below 250 kilometers per hour causes you to lose lift, and the plane stalls. On top of that, the heavy 1,200 kilogram BMW 801 engine creates asymmetric torque that throws the aircraft even more off balance. But if you performed an axial roll at full throttle, you nailed it. The FW-190 could roll 180 degrees per second while maintaining speeds over 700 kilometers per hour, perfect for dodging enemy fire. In fact, here's a fun bit of history. After capturing an FW-190 in 1943, the Soviets adopted this exact maneuver and began calling it the Vertushka, using it later against the Me-262. Now, after passing the test, you've been given the Luftwaffe pilot badge. You can move freely around the airfield, but now the hard part begins. You have to sneak into the airfield and sabotage every plane except one. That one aircraft will be your escape route and your weapon to destroy other bases. How do you take the rest out of service without damaging the one you'll use to get away? If you chose conductive grease, you failed. The plane would fly normally. The grease contained barium, which was visible under UV light, and the Nazis wore gloves treated with silver nitrate that changed color upon contact with conductive substances. But if you used the samarium cobalt magnet, you got it right, placing it just 3 centimeters from the lower edge of the compass, where the shielding was weakest, caused the heading to drift by 1 degree every 5 seconds. You've already sabotaged the test hangar and escaped in an FW-190. You also destroyed the 3 key hangars, but now you've been discovered. Over 100 enemy aircraft, including the fast Me-262s, are after you. How do you evade their radar and make your escape? If you flew in a low zigzag pattern, you failed. German radars could detect you from 7 to 15 kilometers away, and that maneuver increased your signal by 40%. The acoustic mirror method didn't work either. It relied on mountains to bounce engine noise at a 45-degree angle, creating false echoes 3 to 5 kilometers away. But this technique only worked with very slow engines, below 700 RPM. The FW-190's engine exceeded 2,700 RPM, so it couldn't take advantage of the effect, making it impossible to generate those echoes and avoid detection. So the correct answer is C. Even though escaping the previous test seemed impossible, if you get the next one right, it proves you already had a plan B. You would have used the lunar flight, a tactic that involved flying along the moon's shadow, using carbon-based radar-absorbing paint, and navigating by constellations instead of radio to avoid detection. Now the next challenge is this. How do you prove you're an ally when flying and landing in Soviet territory in an enemy aircraft before they shoot you down? If you fired red flares, you failed. Even though they were universal distress signals, the Nazis used them too, and the Soviets could easily mistake you for an enemy. But if you performed a loop followed by a barrel roll, you got it right. That was the secret signal used by infiltrators to keep Soviet forces from shooting them down. When they saw it, they knew you were an ally. The maneuver involved climbing in a circle and spiraling through the air. If you got them all right, you made it out just like the pilots of KG-200 did. If you missed one or two, you still might have had a shot, but you would have had to improvise under enemy fire. And if you fell for several traps, now you know what not to do. Drop a comment letting me know how many you got right and what kind of challenge you'd like to see in the next video.